Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome, Southeastern Michigan and our neighbors on the other side of the bridge, Windsor. Welcome to our second episode here. Today's show with You Need to Know with Hussein Nofila, we're going to be covering back to school. Yes, you heard me, back to school.
One of our favorite topics.
4th of July was just, the holiday was just last week, and that usually kicks off the summer, and we're already talking about back to school, but it's never too early to prepare. What do you think, Nofila?
I think it's a good topic. It's timely, right? And we just wanted to introduce one of our guests here.
Special guest.
Very special guest. Nabeel is a friend of both Hussein and I for almost 2 decades. Nabeel Althalaya is the president of the Dearborn PTA Council. Welcome, Nabeel. And we have Nabeel here today because we're going to ask him some questions and maybe get him to shed some light on the PTA and then on going back to school. فعنا اليوم الأستاذ نبيل الطلاية رئيس لجنة الأهالي والطلاب والمعلمين على ديربورن Public Schools كلها، ورح نستفيد من خبرته بالنسبة لرجع المدرسة كل الأشياء اللي بتصير بالسنة الدراسية. أهلا وسهلا نبيل.
أهلا وسهلا, brother Nabeel. Okay. So last week we asked our listeners to call us with topics they want us to speak on. So today's theme, back to school, I want to thank a good friend, Angela Khatir. She recommended that we also concentrate on the 8th to 9th grade transition, because that's a tough year when you go and leave in the middle school, going into the high school. What a day, the first day of school. So we will touch base on that a little bit. We're going to be talking about what to do the next probably 6 to 8 weeks as parents, and parents what you need to recommend to your children, the students too. So a lot of great things coming. But I want to take an opportunity here just to talk about, for a few seconds, if you don't mind, Nofila, about real estate. We did reach out to our neighbors in Windsor last year, and I got a phone call from a neighbor in Windsor. Somebody was looking to buy a house, and I'm like, okay, I wasn't prepared for that, so I reached out to my friends on Facebook, and I said, is there anybody you can recommend? A good realtor in Facebook, and wow, there's a lot of good colleagues, great colleagues that have been in the business for a long, long time. And I want to thank a mutual friend of ours, Ms. Zahra Bousi. She recommended, again, I'm not picking and choosing, but I did connect with Kate Saleh. Kate Saleh has got 9 years of experience in the real estate business in Windsor. She is one of the top multi-million-dollar producer. She's part of Manners Real Estate Company. She has a background in business, banking, entrepreneurship, speaks Arabic and English. So she's a good person to know if you're looking to buy or sell in the Windsor area. And I'm looking forward to introducing some of the other colleagues that we have in Windsor. So that's how I want to get that out of the way. What are your thoughts?
You know what? I've always seen Windsor as a neighbor, because for a long time Hussein and I both have owned businesses in Dearborn for many years, and I would always receive people that come from Windsor so they can shop in Dearborn. And same goes for Ohio. People would come up from Ohio. Dearborn is just such an attractive place. And it's amazing to have great neighbors on both borders, Ohio and Windsor. And we should all be working together. So going back to our original topic, we're going to talk about schools, prepping to go back to school. So you want to take that away, Hussein?
Yes, I'll get it started, and also remind me to stop so you and Nabeel can engage. And obviously we want to cover not just in English today, we want to get into the Arabic, because a lot of our parents only speak Arabic, so it's great advice that we're going to be sharing with them, and we want them to hear from us. Back to school preparation. Some of these things to some people might sound like it's obvious that you have to do that, but some are just like reminders, like simple things. Getting a physical. I know some grades you have to get a physical in order to register for that particular grade. But also if your child is going to participate in the sports, you have to get a physical for sports. Maybe have a good time, maybe in mid-August, set it up right now, maybe go see the dentist, get that out of the way. Eye exams is probably a good thing too. Medication. So you don't run out of medication. Maybe it's a good idea to get everything filled up right now.
Let me stop you on that
Go
note
ahead.
just for a second. There are a lot of parents that don't know you can, if your child is taking a medication daily, you can drop off that medication to the school office with the school nurse, and they can administer that medicine accordingly. نرجع بنعيدها بالعربي. في أهالي كتير ما بتعرف إنه إذا الولد اللي عندكم بياخد دواء بتوقيت منظم كل يوم، ممكن تتركوا هذا الدواء بالمدرسة عند السكول نيرس، وهن بيعطوا الدواء لحتى الولد ما يروح عليه ولا جرعة من الدواء. وكمان اللي قاله حسين رح ارجع ترجمه كمان. الفيزيكال فورمز كتير كتير مهمين في اولاد كتير. اول ما بتبلش السنه المدرسيه او حتى قبل ما تبدا السنه، بيكون في فريق رياضه الولد بده يفوت فيه او اكتيفيتيز بيتطلبوا انه يكون عنده فيزيكال فورم جاهزه. هي الورقه اللي بيكون لونها اخضر او ازرق ناخدها عند الحكيم بيعبيها. حضرونا على بكير لانه بيجي وقت المدرسه والعجقه و everything وبيضيع كل شيء وبيروح الديدلاين والولد بتروح عليه الفوتة على الفريق.
So yes, June was last couple weeks in school. Our kids, our children are having a good time, enjoying the summer, maybe going to the pool, playing outside, hopefully not on their phones. Guess what happens in the summer? As educators, we know that, but the students fall behind a little bit on their education. So it might be a good idea to encourage your child to review some of the material where they left off of the previous year, especially the subjects that they find challenging. What do I mean by that? Example, if my son or daughter does very good in English and they love social study, but they kind of have a hard time in math, it might be a good idea for you as a parent to check on your child, on your student, and say, hey, how's it going in math class? And maybe provide some extra help through the school system, or possibly get somebody to help your student, maybe in maybe like a private setting or maybe at home, or reach out to the school. Discuss personal goals for the school year. I know it's a little difficult at the elementary level, but the middle school and especially at the high school, that should be a topic that should be covered. That should be something you discuss at the dinner table. Nofila, you want to translate some of that?
انه نكون جاهزين من اولا. لما بتخلص المدرسه الاولاد بصير عندهم learning loss, summer loss, right?
Exactly.
I think Nabeel knows a lot about this لأنه على طول بيجينا أهالي كان إنه بيسألوا عن هالموضوع، إنه between June and August في أشياء كتير تعلمها الولد نسيها. شو ممكن نعمل لحتى نساعد هالولد إنه بالصيفية إنه يخلي شوي من هالمعلومات، أو you know there's a lot of parents بيبعتوا أولادهم على summer school وهن يمكن مش بحاجة للsummer school. هذا مش غلط. شو رأيك فيه نبيل؟
أنا أشكر المدارس ديربون. برنامج السمر سكول يساعد كثير من العوائل. إنه الطلاب بيطلعوا على الإجازة بيبدأوا ينسوا الدروس بس هذه البرامج الصيفية كثير بتساعد الطلاب، وكذلك بتساعد الأهالي إنهم ياخذوا ريست، يعني شوية راحة من تعب المجهود المذاكرة في البيت، وفي نفس الوقت بيرتاحوا عشان الصيف، إجازة الصيف. نعم. هذا هو الصح، انه بتخلي ضروري نخلي اولادنا دائما مشغولين. تلفون هذه اكبر انا اقول اكبر مصيبه بنجيبها لاطفالنا.
شو رايك اي
انا بشوف دائما في اجتماعات الاهالي في المدارس اللي بنحضرها عشان الام ولا البي يسكت الولد، يجيب له ايفون ولا التلفون. عمر الولد ولا البنت شي سنة ونص سنتين، يعني مش عارفين ايش بيدمروا للطفل والطفلة من في عقليتهم. فأنا بقول إنه أخضر سن هو السنة الثانية، أخضر سن، ويقدروا يحكوا مع أخصائيين ودكاترة يعني.
لأنه بهالعمر يمكن أكثر شيء الولد
نعم نعم.
إذا حاطينه قدام شاشة ما نتعلم الألوان والأصوات.
So yeah, going back to some of the advice, you know what, we want our children to enjoy their summer. We want them to have fun. But there's going to come a time, maybe in mid-August, you parents, you probably need to reestablish some of the routines. So what does that mean? It means gradually adjust the bedtime slowly. We don't want them going to bed too early, but they need to start, instead of staying up till midnight watching TV or talking to their friends or visiting, maybe starts weaning them out where they need to get bedtime on time, where it is when during the school year. The other thing is establish a drop zone. This might sound crazy, but when the student comes home, they should have a spot in the house where they drop off their backpacks and their books and everything else that they need the next morning. So if they need to get something out of the backpack, they know where it's at. Most important is when you wake up in the morning, we know how that goes. You're struggling, you're running, you're rushing, and you're like, where's my backpack? Is it in the basement? Did I leave it in the car? Establish that. It's very, very important. Just minor things. And we know what's very also is important. Probably, as a parent, I did this I did this multiple times, but probably start connecting your children with their friends. They have maybe in the summer they start hanging out with their cousins, visiting their aunts and grandparents. But probably again, mid-August to late August, they should start connecting with their friends, with their classmates, just kind of reestablish those relationships. So it makes it a little bit easier to transition into the classroom. Nofila?
So one of the things that you said that caught my attention most is organizational skills. All ages, بكل الأعمار لازم نعلم الولد على يكون عنده organization، يكون مرتب. كل ما كان هالتعليم مبكر كل ما أحسن. يعني لما يكونوا فايتين kindergarten or preschool even، يتعلموا إنه قبل كل ليلة إنه نخلي أغراضنا جاهزين لتاني نهار. plan ahead، شو رح ياكل تاني نهار الولد، شو رح يلبس تاني نهار، كيف رح يكون نهاره، حتى لو كان مدرسته نص النهار شو رح يكون نهاره بعد ما يخلص مدرسة.
نعم. I love the
idea. The drop zone?
The drop zone.
Yeah.
I like it. يعني أكثر الطلاب أو الأبناء يعني الصباح ماما بابا وين الحقيبة، وين الأقلام، وين الشغلات، لكن زي ما قلت يا أستاذ حسين إنه شغلة منيحة تحطها مكان والولد دغري يروح للمكان نفسه.
في شغلة تانية كمان في أهالي كتير ما بيفكروا فيها قبل بوقت، لأنه مين رح يفكر فيها right؟ نروح قبل ما تبلش المدرسة، نعرف الولد خاصة إذا أول سنة مدرسة ورح نتركه. في ولاد كتير بيصير عندهم ميلت داونز أول نهار، بضلوا يبكوا يمكن 2 weeks قبل ما يتعودوا على فكرة إنه لا كل يوم رح تيجي على المدرسة ورح تقعد بالصف. خدوهم بالصيف يشوفوا البيلدينج، يشوفوا البلاي جراوند، يشوفوا وين رح ينزلوا. أوقات بتكون المدارس مفتوحة لأنه في اكتيفيتيز. اسألوا حدا من المدرسة يخليكم تشوفوا الصف، عودوا الولد على فكرة إنه أنت رايح على مدرسة، لحتى ما تكون صدمة أول نهار مدرسة. If you have any questions أو بدكم تشاركونا بالconversation call 313-769-6666. بدنا ناخد سؤالاتكم وناخد أفكاركم. 313-769-6666. If you have any questions or want to add to the conversation, please call us. We're here.
So I'm going to go right into the 8th to 9th grade transition. Very, very important. And again, I want to thank Angela for that recommendation. We do answer the phones. So So if you have, if we're on the air right now, you got a question, don't hesitate to call 313-769-6666, or you're welcome to call us after the show. My phone number is 313-580-8007. Nofila's phone number is 313-433-7433. So eighth grade transition, very important year. You parents, you probably need to talk to your students. Recommend that they join clubs, not just get into this. Sports is important. We know that. We know football in southeastern Michigan. I'm sure it is in Windsor too. Is very, very important. I'm sorry, you have a call. We have a caller. Okay, we'll go ahead and take the call, and I'll continue.
For our live viewers,
Allah Fik. So that's a very good question. The question from the caller is, I want to register my child in Dearborn Public Schools, and this is pretty much same advice for any district. Thank you for the call. If the school is closed, yes, you can go to Student Services. That's at 18700 Odette Street, 18700 Odette Street. That's in Dearborn, Michigan, 48124, and you want to visit the Student Services Center. They're open regular business hours. Yes, sir. Yes. So if you have any, they will take care of everything there. So, and if you have any problems, you're welcome to call me back at 313-580-8007. And again, Nufila's number is 313-443-7443. Thank you for the question, caller.
you can also go online. Pre-enrollment kind of package. If you just go to dearbornschools.org, and there's the word enroll on the front page. And I believe that no.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah. But call us if you need help.
Yeah, thank you for the call. So, yes, I'm going to go back to, we should have a good day. Have a great weekend. So, we do welcome calls, so don't hesitate to call us, 313-769-6666. So, going back to the eighth grade transition, parents, encourage your students to join clubs, join sports, the theater, the music. We have great programs in the Crestwood School District, Robichaud School District, D7, Dearborn, and I'm sure, throughout southeastern Michigan and Windsor. Get the students involved. Why is that important? That's important so the child can expand on their social circle. Social circle, aka, is a sphere of friendships. Students need to make friends in the school. So that's a very important age going into ninth grade. Could you imagine a ninth grader walking into this big, huge building? It's like, oh my God, I look lost. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Nofila?
So imagine having just finished eighth grade and your parents decided that they wanted to. And now all of a sudden, all of your kindergarten through eighth grade friends are gone because you moved into a whole new neighborhood. Now you have to walk into high school as a ninth grader and make brand new friends. What a scary thing. Yeah. I mean, have you seen that, Nabeel? Have you experienced that?
Yeah, I seen in my house. My daughter, she's going to eighth grade. She already thinking about it. When she went last year, she visit Fortson, and when she came back, she said, "Baba, that's a huge school. I get lost."
Yeah.
So they give her like a tour, and same thing with a lot of kids. They think it's different, and she's gonna have her best friend. They bought a new house, and guess what? She's gonna go. That's all. So they are separated. So
yeah.
That's why.
It's very scary. And so parents بدنا نخليكم بس نجيب هالموضوع بس لانتباهكم. في ناس بنضطر إنه ننتقل، نخلص المدرسة بنضطر إنه أوكي لازم ننقل، لازم نغير البيت، لازم مستأجرين وبدنا نشتري، أو بالعكس عم نبيع ولازم نستأجر فترة. حاولوا تخلوا أولادكم بنفس الزون لمدرسة in Dearborn أو غير districts. Most of the schools have a boundary. فبنحاول نخلي أولادنا مع رفقاتهم اللي ربوا معهم، لأن الموضوع كتير بخوف، خاصة لما عم ينتقلوا من المرحلة اللي هي elementary للميدل أو من الميدل للهاي سكول.
Wow, Nofila, we're trying to get people to sell their houses and buy their houses. Now you're telling them not to move.
No,
How
I'm
about
telling
that?
them to move, but within their zone.
So yeah, no, this is very good advice. I'm just kidding, obviously. So yeah, it's probably, especially very, very important going into the high school. It's probably not a good idea to move from one school district to another, or within the same district from one school to another. So parents, this advice is for you. This is very, very important. They always say, and I'm sure PTA and I'm sure Nabeel will talk about that a little bit, and they always say when the parents are involved, the students are successful. Parents, I strongly recommend get to know your teachers, get to know the principal, make the administration there part of your friendships, okay? And another very important person to get to know in the school is the counselor. Never too early to start talking about the collegiate program. This is a great program that Dearborn Public Schools has in partnership with Henry Ford College, where your student in 5 years graduates with an associate's degree and a high school diploma. The early college, the Henry Ford Early College Program, amazing. Get information. Start asking questions right now. Go on the website and get information. Dual enrollment is nothing. It's never too early to start thinking about the junior and the senior year. I know you're saying, hey, this is transitions to 8th to 9th grade, but you need to get ahead of the game. I know right now, and Nofila will talk a little bit about this, about college prep. The GPA is important. The GPA is very, very important, but just as important is the students' activities in the school. A lot of colleges are looking at that. They want to see your resume. They want to see your credentials. What are you? Are you involved in the school? That's very, very telling. Community service. I cannot stress how important that is. Having maybe 20 hours, 30 hours, 40. I've seen students where I've helped write a reference letter where they got a couple hundred hours of community service. To me, that's huge when the college is looking at somebody's resume and the application. I want Nofila to talk a little bit about the seal of biliteracy a little bit.
Before we move on to the seal of biliteracy, have a little break. Let's get into the seal of biliteracy that Hussein was mentioning. This is very important for high school students. Seal of biliteracy هو شهادة أو certificate ياخدوها الهاي سكول سينيورز سنة التخرج، وهي معناتها إنه هالستودنت proficient يعني كتير قوي بلغة تانية، إن كانت عربي أو ما تكون اللغة. حتى ياخدوا هذا السيل بدهم ياخدوا اللغة 4 سنين بالهاي سكول، ولما بياخدوا السيرتيفيكت بتساعدهم بالوظائف، بتساعدهم بالجامعات، بتساعدهم بعد ما يتخرجوا بالجامعة. ممكن الورك فورس الشركة اللي عم يعبوا عليها طلب بيفضلوا انه يكون حدا عنده two languages، ويكون انه it's not just انه ايه بعرف لغة تانية، لا موثق انه بيعرف لغة تانية، جاي من ولاية ميشيغان انه هذا student proficient باللغة التانية. So the seal of biliteracy is a seal that high school students can attain at graduation by taking 4 years of a world language. And it basically says that they are proficient in that language, and it helps them in college, and it helps them in the workforce. And sometimes they're favored because the world has become so small, with with everything, with the internet, and people working from home, not just because their office is 30 minutes away. Some people work from home in a different country. No. I know people that live here in the US, but they work for a company in Japan or in Germany, but they live here and they've never set foot in that other country because they are able to speak that language.
I just want to interrupt here and say the actual seal is on the student's diploma.
Yeah.
Board member for Mary Lane. Definitely, I agree with Nofila. Our schools get smaller. Corporate America, they understand. As a base in Germany. I know you guys want to get to the fun part, though. Me flipping burgers, or what's that called?
The back to school PTA picnic, the annual. How many years is it now, Nabeel? 2016. Oh, we're almost going on 10 years.
10 years, yes.
Yeah, almost 10 years. So when is the picnic?
I remember that, and Mr. Hussein, he was like, "We missed you last year." Last year,
yeah, he couldn't make it last year. Yeah.
This is the first year we didn't see Hussein flipping the hamburgers, and we burned it.
You burned it?
Yeah, we burned it. We didn't do.
They need you back.
We didn't do a good job last year with the hamburger. So this year it's scheduled for August 23rd, Saturday, from 12 to 3. And I want to say a million thanks to our partners, Dearborn Health, Dearborn Public Health, and also Imagine Health Service. Those are the one that they step up to partner with us, and also in the road, Amity.
Okay.
It's a good friend of ours. He's helping out all the time, and also community and schools.
Mm-hmm.
They did a great job last year, and we hope they're gonna join us this year.
So let's explain a little bit about what this picnic is. So in 2016, Nabeel and I were serving on the PTA council together.
Yeah,
so 2016 كنا أنا ونبيل مع بعض بلجنة الأهالي والمعلمين للديستريكت، يعني كل المدارس، وفي تقريبا 33 مدرسة.
نعم.
So in 2016, we decided that we're going to have a picnic at the end of the summer so that we can get everyone excited about going back to school.
No.
So we started this picnic. We had about 300 people show up. That was it. It was our very first picnic.
Yeah.
Sen was doing the burgers. We just had a couple of drinks and chips, and 300 parents showed up.
Absolutely, yes.
Luckily, we were prepared.
Yeah.
We didn't prepare for more or less, so we were good. It went well. The following year, that number increased to about 500. And then every year moving forward,
it's growing.
It's gone up. So the last couple of picnics have been close to 1,200 parents and students that show up. I'm going to say it again in Arabic. So من تقريبا 10 سنين لما بلشنا هذا البيكنيك هذا الايفنت عملنا هالاحتفال لحتى نحمس التلاميذ والاهالي اللي يرجعوا على المدرسه. فبنعملها باخر الصيف. واول احتفال عملناه كان فيه تقريبا 300 شخص اجوا على البيكنيك. والسنه اللي بعدها اجوا 500 و800 و1000 وهلا صرنا كم سنه very steady على بين ال 1200 و 1300 شخص. هذا الاحتفال كل سنه بيحتوي اشياء جديده.
نعم.
You know, what kind of giveaways are we doing?
This year we're gonna have activities for the young men and women, kids, and we have as we mentioned, the partner from Imagine Health Service. We're gonna cover, ice cream truck.
Okay.
The food is gonna be served. We're gonna request them live. Mr. Barry, we need you.
You've been summoned.
This is a request online. It's live. So
the theme this year will be Hussein is back and there's gonna be trouble.
All right.
There you go.
We like that.
So no, seriously, years ago, PTA gave me an award for 30 years of service. The proudest burger I ever made was National PTA president, Miss Anna King. She heard about Hussein Barry's famous burgers. She wanted to come to Michigan. She actually came to Dearborn, Michigan, and guess what? I did not disappoint. She said it was the best burger she ever had. So this is a great event, very supportive of it. Nabeel and PTA, and it's not just the council. PTA Council does a good job here. It's all our local chapters. God bless you guys. I know it takes a team at every level to pull this off. And the best part about it, I know we joke around about about the burgers and about this and that. The best part of it is when I see those young people. I see the look on their faces. It's just so heartwarming. So we're going to go back to if you have any questions for us, don't hesitate to call 313-769-6666. And I want to again take a chance here, take an opportunity here to thank CNR Radio. They do a wonderful job and they're giving us an opportunity here to reach out to our parents. I want to get back to I spoke to one of our amazing teachers, and we have many of them throughout not just the Dearborn district, throughout the whole region here. I love our teachers. Without teachers, there is no education. I spoke to a teacher at the middle school, Sada Shaurara. She's a longtime friend, and I asked her, I said, give us some advice. And it's what we said about getting ready for high school. Pretty much is the same thing, getting ready for middle school, elementary, but you put a little twist into it too. That's when a student goes into the 6th grade. Guess what? That's the first time they're using a combination locker.
Yeah. Right.
You know the anxiety of trying to figure out turn this way, turn that way. So it might be a good idea when you go to Target next time, grab a little combination locker and let your son or daughter play around with it. Just get a little practice. Very, very important. Very, very important at that level. They're transitioning from elementary to middle school. Time management. They need to start understanding that when they're in that classroom, it's no longer they're sitting in the same classroom. They're going from one, classroom to another, and maybe their next classroom might be on the other side of the building. So they need to figure this thing out. When to use the restroom, when to use the bathroom. You can't just in between classes. You got a few minutes to get to classroom. That's not the time to be chatting with your friends. You need to get you'll have time at recess. You'll have time at the cafeteria to talk to your friends. Get your young ones at that level, start using a planner. That's so important. With the planner, they can track their homework. And that, as a parent, that gives you an opportunity to check on your students and see how well they're doing. Are they meet the deadlines? And guess what, parents? This is where tough love comes in. If they don't meet their deadlines, there has to be penalties. There has to be consequences. What a perfect age to learn that there's consequences for your actions more than in 6th grade. You don't want to overwhelm them, but you don't want them to start off on bad habits.
But you also don't, and I know this is really hard for parents. This is a very hard thing for parents. We want to be our kids' friends. You are not their friend. You are their parent. You are their mom, their dad, their grandparent, whatever adult you are, because families come in all forms. You are the parent. You need to put your foot down when it's time to. You are not their friend. They don't know more than you do, and you need to let them know. We want to spoil our princesses and our boys, and we want to do all of that, but you are the parent. So yes, discipline is very important because kids will push their limits. They're going to see how much you really will push back and how much they can get away with. And the more you let them get away with, you give an inch, they'll take a mile. Another thing, I actually want to bring this up first. Do you know what the hardest year is for a middle schooler? Take a wild guess. It's not 6th grade, it's 7th grade. 7th grade. Because in 6th grade, they're still fresh to middle school. They're still babies. In 7th grade, they're not the big person on campus, and they're not the baby that is given a little extra leeway so they can get things done. And they're transitioning to 8th grade where they're becoming, the big person on campus. And now it's ending that childhood because 5th grade or 6th grade already started to end that baby phase for them. And now the real responsibilities are coming in. So a couple of the things that you need to, when going into 6th grade as a parent, you need to have resource awareness. It's not what they were doing in elementary school. They're transitioning between classes. They're not sitting in the same classroom. There are things at the middle school that they'll need. You need to know about. You need to know who's there to assess, who's the counselor, who is the principal, who is the office receptionist. The most important person in a building is the office receptionist because they have access to all of those. And I think Nabeel has a lot to say about that. How do you feel about the office receptionist?
That's true. I want to advise parents regarding I attend sports for girls this year. It was amazing. Hype, they did a good job with soccer, footballs, and I seen a lot kids. They play good,
Yeah.
but this first time they play. So I want to ask parents, please keep them in the sport. Try to engage with them, and don't let them to go middle school and stop there.
Yeah.
So continue, and also in the ceremony for middle school, elementary school, and high school. And I seen a lot of parents. They said, "Oh, it's elementary school." So elementary school, the most important. That kid, when he graduated from 5th grade to go to the middle school, he remembered that moment.
Yeah.
Take a day, mark your calendar from now, and take a day off. Dad or mom, you have to be in that ceremony, please.
I know Nofila referred to the position as a receptionist. It's actually known as our secretaries. And we know who runs the building, secretaries. We're very thankful for you. They're the gateway. They're the gateway. I remember about 10, 12 years ago when we hired a principal to go into one of our, I think it was one of our elementaries. And I went to visit just to, give that principal some, just encourage them, say, I'm going to support you, let me know. And the secretary says, "Oh, Mr. Berry, I just want to remind you, this is the 5th principal in my building. This is the 5th principal in my building." I thought about it. So she's not joking. You know what? We're just getting reminded here. We're almost wrapping up, Nofila.
Yeah.
Time flies. This is a subject that we enjoy talking about. This is our life. But I just want to remind our listeners out there, if you have any questions, I'm going to talk about what our next week, the subject next week is. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call 313-769-6666. The topic next week is purchasing a home.
Yeah.
Nofila and I, we own Nova Realty. We've been in the real estate business for over 30 some years together. So that's going to be a topic right now that's very, very important, especially right now. We understand the different cities where houses are selling for overpriced, where there's some areas there is no inventory, there is no houses. So we'll be ready to take your calls. So if you have any questions on that department, don't hesitate. If you're going to call us before next Friday, you're welcome to call me at 313-580-8007. And to find those numbers, 313-443-7443.
And
Very
next
important
week,
topic.
we will be going live from YouTube. So find us on YouTube. You Need to Know, all spelled out, 2025. And follow us on Instagram, You Need to Know _2025. We will be announcing a giveaway on our Instagram page. So follow us at You Need to Know _2025. Thank you for listening in. We'll still be taking topics through social media and through our phones. So text us or call us or send us an email or send us a message or Instagram.
Yes, to clarify a little bit, Nufayla mentioned the giveaway. Yeah, we're going to be, we have some sponsors that want to engage with us. Thank you to everybody. Wow, what an amazing week last week was. People were like, oh, we heard the show on CNR Radio, and you guys did a great job. So thank you for all the compliments. But at the same time, we want you to engage. We want your questions.
We want to hear from you.
Yeah, so
whether it's real estate or schools.
Yeah, there's a few other things that we'll be getting to next week and the week after, but things around the city happening. We'll talk about homecoming. We'll talk about the PTA. We'll talk about smoke on the grill.
Okay, I want to thank Nabeel one more time, president of the PTA Council in Dearborn. Thank you for joining us today. Your information was invaluable.
Just mark your calendar, August 23rd, which is going to be Saturday, on Ford Field, from 12 to 3. Is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to give away a backpack with the supply. So if you're not going to plan to purchase a backpack for your kids, so we're going to provide it. So, and I need to see all the parents at Dearborn Ford Field on August 23rd. And I want to thank you all, my team at the counselor. They work hard all the year, and all the PTA. I want a special thanks to all the buildings and all the principal. So thanks again to you guys, and we are blessed with the Dearborn Public Education. You guys did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Nabeel, and thank you for being our guest speaker today. I just wanted to say that Nabeel keeps giving a plug for Dearborn because he's a little biased. That's where his children attend. So, but obviously, we have many, many great districts around us. August 23rd, that's at Ford Field. That's the big park by Michigan and Monroe for people outside of Dearborn. In Dearborn, yeah. And Nabeel, I promise you, I'll be there.
We'll both be there, Nabeel.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you everyone for listening in, and see you next week.
Good.